The Islands of Paradise by Richard Gula. The Philippines is a sovereign state in archipelagic Southeast Asia and is home to an amazing collection of over 7,640 islands, spanning for more than 300,000 square kilometers of territory. These islands are divided in three regions, namely Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Luzon is the largest and the most populous island in the Philippines, which is considered the 15th largest island in the world. It is the nation's center for economy and politics, being home to the country's big factories and government, national office, including the Malacanang Place. It is also the home of mountainous terrains, picturesque volcano, numerous lakes, rivers, and plains. Visayas is the smallest region in terms of island area in central part of the archipelago. It is the home of major Philippines religious and cultural festivals such as Ati-Atihan, Dinagyang, Sinulong, Pintados, and Mascara. It is also known for its famous landmarks such as the Chocolate Hills of Bohol, San Juanico Bridge of Leyte, and the island of Boracay. Mindanao is the second largest among the three islands in the southernmost part of the Philippines. It is the main contributor to the country's gross domestic product. In terms of agriculture, fishing, forestry, Mindanao is now to be the home of Philippines eagle and king of the fruits, which is durian. All three islands are defined by their unique location, culture, and costume. The Philippines is indeed paradise in its true sense. The Islands of Paradise by Richard Gula. The Philippines is a sovereign state in archipelagic Southeast Asia.
The reader mispronounced Philippines to Philippines and omitted the word is. The reader then mispronounced archipelagic to archipelagic.
And is home to an amazing collection of over 7,640 islands, spanning for more than 300,000 square kilometers of territory.
The reader inserted the word for between spanning and more, and omitted of between kilometers and territory.
These islands are divided in three regions.
The reader mispronounced islands to island and said in instead of into.
Namely, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
She mispronounced Visayas to Visayas.
Luzon is the largest and the most populous island in the Philippines.
Again, the reader mispronounced Philippines to Philippines,
which is considered the 15th largest island in the world.
The reader mispronounced considered and said considered instead.
It is the nation's center for economy and politics,
The reader mispronounced economy to economy,
being home to the country's big factories and government.
The reader mispronounced factories to factories and mispronounced governments to government.
National office.
The reader inserted the word if before mispronouncing offices to office.
Office, including the Malacanang Place.
The reader substituted the word place instead of saying palace.
It is also the home of mountainous terrains, picturesque volcano.
The reader mispronounced picturesque to picturesque and omitted the plural form as in volcanoes.
Numerous lakes, rivers, and plains.
The reader initially mispronounced the word numerous and said name you, and still unsuccessfully corrected herself by saying namerous.
Visayas is the smallest region in
The reader inserted the word in between smallest and region.
Term of island area
The reader mispronounced terms to term and substituted the word land with island.
in central part of the archipelago.
The reader omitted the word the in between in and central.
It is the home of major Philippines
The reader substituted the word of instead of to and mispronounced Philippine to Philippines.
religious and cultural festival,
The reader mispronounced religious to religious and festivals to festival.
such as ati-atihan, dinagyang, sinulong, pintados, and maskara.
The reader substituted a instead of as and mispronounced sinulog to sinulong.
It is also known
The reader mispronounced known to noun.
for its famous landmark
The reader mispronounced famous to famous and landmarks to landmark.
such as
The reader initially mispronounced as a, but eventually corrected herself.
the Chocolate Hills of Bohol, San Juanico Bridge of Leyte, and the island of Boracay.
The reader inserted e between and the.
Mindanao is the second largest among the three islands
The reader consistently mispronounced islands to island.
in the southernmost
The reader mispronounced southernmost to southernmost.
part of the Philippines.
The reader consistently mispronounced Philippines to Philippines.
It is the main contributor to the next
The reader mispronounced the word contributor to contribor and inserted the syllable ne between the and countries.
country's gross domestic product.
The reader mispronounced domestic to dometric.
In terms of agriculture, fishing, forestry, it
The reader mispronounced agriculture to agri and but still unsuccessfully corrected herself by saying agriculture. The reader then mispronounced forestry to forestry.
Mindanao is now to be the home of Philippines eagle
The reader mispronounced known to now, omitted the word the, and mispronounced Philippine to Philippines.
and king of the fruits,
The reader again omitted the.
which is duran, durian.
The reader again omitted the and mispronounced durian to duran but successfully corrected herself eventually.
All three islands are defined
The reader mispronounced defined to defied.
by their unique location, culture, and costume.
The reader mispronounced unique to unique and custom to costume.
The Philippines
For the last time, the reader mispronounced Philippines to Philippines.
is indeed paradise in it is true since
The reader omitted the word a, substituted the word it's with it is, and sense with since.